What up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Mike Fury, and I make informative videos just like this one. So please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And I wanted to do something different today. Mortal Kombat 12 has a bunch of rumors coming out. I finished playing Mortal Kombat 11. There's a Mortal Kombat review up on the channel as we speak. Mortal Kombat X review of the on the channel as we speak, if you guys want to check that out. But anyways, Mortal Kombat 12, the hype is building. They've already stated that yes, it's coming out this year. I'm super excited. We don't know when the release date is, but that doesn't mean that we can't create content in honor of that brand new amazing. This is going to be an amazing year for fighting games, by the way, guys. But anyways, we're going to be selecting every single character that we want to make the roster. Now, what we can't do is pick the guest characters. I'll leave that for another video. And today, as I'm recording, I will be doing two ranking lists. So first one, this is going to be part one. Next one, I'll just rank every single character to ever appear in the Mortal Kombat game. So make sure to subscribe, check out the channel, check out the videos, stay tuned, because this is part one, next one is part two, and then I'll probably do the guest characters that I want to come out. So anyways, guys, without further ado, let's get right into it. So here we are. I have divvied up, so technically, if I'm going to be straightforward and transparent with you guys, this is the all Mortal Kombat characters tier list that's already been created, right? And I'm just grabbing it. I'm not creating my own, but what I have done, and I'll probably save it and redo it and rename it so you guys can participate as well and go ahead and send me the actual template so I can look at what you guys have picked. I also like share this on Twitter and things of that nature. But anyways, I've changed the names. It was graded as a S tier, A tier, things of that nature, and I've changed them to main roster, pre-order, DLC, NPC, and MIA. And MIA is naturally missing in action. NPC is non-playable character that you will see in the story, but you won't be able to play as them. DLC, they might make it as DLC characters because, you know, who knows, right? Pre-order bonus, it's going to be obviously one of the boss characters. That's real simple. They've been doing that for the last 3 years. They might switch it up, but odds are they'll probably continue with it. Either Kintaro or Motaro. I'll give you guys a quick spoiler. And then we have the main roster. Now let's get right into it. First one is Ashura. Ashura is a character that, if I'm not mistaken, appeared in Deception. Mortal Kombat Deception. And I've seen a lot of people in the community from bigger channels, like I have a pretty small channel, but I've seen channels like Super and Caboose and a couple others. They've talked about, they like want to see Ashura. I'm not with you guys. A lot of people call her like a female Raiden. I'm not on the Ashura fan. I'm just like, because besides her appearance in Deception, she didn't even have a big role. Like, I don't know where the fanfare comes from completely. So I'm just like, do we really need Ashura to be in the game? I'm gonna go with no. This is gonna be our very first. If anything, she might be an NPC, maybe, but the way it also takes into consideration how you think the story is gonna go. And I just don't see anywhere in my mind, with the brand new spoiler warning for those who haven't finished off MK11 Aftermath, I just don't see how us going back in time to the Great Kung Lao era, going back in time to where everybody was sort of to a certain degree young, that we're gonna get this lady to participate in. Now, I could be completely wrong. That's what makes this fun. I could be so wrong, it's not even funny. But as for me, I'm going with MIA. She's gonna be nowhere to be found. It doesn't make sense for her to be anywhere else. Next up, we have Baraka. Baraka is interesting to me, because Baraka's like our sword wielder, but not really the sword wielder. But at the same time, he's a sword wielder. He has two swords. He's super interesting. He's iconic as hell. Like, his design is like the legit, if I'm not mistaken, Tarkatan design. And I love it. I love Baraka. I think his specials are some of the best, most creative, due to the fact that his design is super interesting. I'm going with Baraka making the main roster again. I think that's a safe bet. I think that as far as unique characters are concerned, my boy is legit. Let's move on to the next one. Blaze. Blaze is so interesting. I got all these papers in the way, you guys. I'm over here making a mess. But anyways, Blaze is so interesting. Blaze is a character that, if I'm not mistaken, he was shown off a bit in Deadly Alliance, if I'm not mistaken, or was it Deception? I've played almost every single Mortal Kombat game, so if some of them, if I'm like spotty a little bit in my memory, please forgive me. But as far as I'm concerned, Blaze's big moment was that amazing trailer in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and as the final boss in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. But he really didn't have too much going on. Like, yeah, they had him be the challenge to Taven and Dagon, which are also on the list, and have him be the protector of that power that would kind of like destroy all of humanity or destroy all the realms. And besides that, nothing really. Like, yeah, he was in charge by their father, and that's it. That's really all we got. I'm going with, if anything, nah, it's just, to me, it doesn't make sense. Now, he can be a primordial entity, and he quite possibly might make can you imagine if Blaze is an elder god and like they just never like kind of, I guess, fleshed out his history, fleshed out his lore, but that's really what he is. He's like this primordial entity of like fire, and he is an elder god, but like he was casted like that. Like literally right here, just in this second, I just came up with a better backstory than what he has initially. But I'm gonna go with anything, we might see him as an NPC. If anything, right? Baraicho. I like Baraicho. Baraicho, last time we saw him, he was in Mortal Kombat X. His debut was in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. And his puking, drunken fist style, unique. And as the master of Liu Kang and Kung Lao, I thought that he was due to make another appearance, because I think that, if I'm not mistaken, he was a DLC character for MKX, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that Baraicho's cool. I don't know if he makes it again as if he makes it as a main roster character. I don't think so. I don't even think he makes it as a DLC. But I do see him as an NPC, so I'm going with Baraicho as an NPC. Now, I didn't mention this earlier. What we do want to do is have at least 20, I want to say between 24 and 27 main characters. Now, Cassie Cage. Cassie Cage is interesting. Because if we're going back in time, Cassie Cage isn't born yet. But I don't believe that they're just going to grab all the younger characters and forget all about them, even though they forgot like half of them in Mortal Kombat 11 with Kung Jin and Takeda not being in appearance. Like, those characters, they should have been there, but hey, we got left with Jackie Briggs and Cassie Cage. But okay, that's completely fine, right? But I want those two other characters to make an appearance as well. But Cassie Cage, I'm going main character. Main roster. Why? She's almost like the poster girl now, because originally Johnny Cage was the poster boy for like around 2 games, from Mortal Kombat 9 to Mortal Kombat 10, and then Cassie Cage kind of like took that spotlight from him, where they were like the young people were coming up, so we had those new characters. I'm going with her coming back again. I don't know how they're going to play this. I really want them to allow us to play both of the storylines. I want them to let us play, hey, if you want to see how you guys rebel against Shang Tsung after he won, like I mentioned earlier, spoiler warning, if you didn't play Aftermath, if we really want to see how we rebel against Shang Tsung after he became the emperor of all the realms, and how the Chaos Realm and Order Realm come to play in that, that would be awesome. That would be completely awesome. But also at the same time, play it as if Liu Kang won, and play like going back in time and redoing the first Mortal Kombat tournament. If we are allowed to do that, I apologize if I hit the mic and you guys heard that. If we're allowed to do that, boy, I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna lose my damn mind. Now, but yes, mind you, Cassie Cage as a main roster. Chameleon. Now, Chameleon is interesting. I think a lot of people like Chameleon. I'm not the biggest fan of Chameleon, but I could see like his origin goes all the way back to, if I'm not mistaken, it's Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 3. One of those two. But again, not the biggest fan of Chameleon. I do like his moveset, as like he was originally like a Triborg before the Triborg was a thing, and he had like the light ball that Reptile had, and like just a few other things. But we saw him in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. We saw him in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and then we got Nothing else. And he was kind of just a copycat ninja character with some of the skills that some of the other characters had, which again is pretty cool. And even in Armageddon, that's where it was. In Armageddon, his color would change depending on what moveset you would use. So if you used Sub-Zero's ice slide, his torso would turn blue and things of that nature. So I like Chameleon. I'm not betting money on him making it in. But this next one, Cyrax, main roster. We don't even got to talk about it. We don't got to talk about it. My boy has been missing for the illest amount of time. They really tried to remedy this by giving me Triborg. Hey, you could keep Triborg. You could keep him. I don't need him. I don't need him. I need Cyrax and Sector to be main characters. And they were for Mortal Kombat 9. But I'm a big fan of Cyrax. Cyrax has always been my favorite cyborg. He's always been my favorite. He's actually one of my favorite ninjas, if we're going to be honest about it. Him and Smoke. Because I'm going to give you guys the thing about me. I never liked the main characters, yo. I never do. I always like the eclectic, unless you're a god, since I have this huge love with mythology and just the those worlds and how entities work and things of that nature. Unless you're a god, I really don't like you if you're the main protagonist. I always like the second character. If you were to ask me, who's my favorite character in, well, One Piece is different because I love Zoro. But, even in that, I'm a fan of Luffy, and I love Luffy, but I'm a fan of Zoro. If you were to ask me who's my favorite character in Naruto, for example, I'm going to go with Jiraiya. I'm going with Pain. I'm going with Itachi. I'm going with Minato. I'm never picking Sasuke or Naruto. I even like Orochimaru more than I like Sasuke. Just giving you guys a quick thing. But anyways, I'm blabbering now. Cyrax is legit. Cyrax is one of my favorite characters of all time. I love playing Cyrax. He is main roster for me. He might not make it, but I want him to. Devora. I want them to create another character so we can do fatalities on and not get demonetized on YouTube. It's either her or RoboCop. I think that's how it works, since their blood is not really colored in a red way. If I'm not mistaken, RoboCop has oil coming out, and then she has this blue tealish blood. I don't like her at all. Some people like her. I don't like her whatsoever. I think she's so whack. She's so terrible. And to me, I have her going MIA. I don't think she makes another appearance unless it's the way that I'm telling you guys, that the story will diverge into two paths and we get to play the outcome of both stories. That would be super cool. Dagon. I forgot who was the voice actor for Dagon in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, but I remember his voice. I just don't remember who it is. But I don't think either of Dagon and Taven are going to make him. I'm putting in MIA. Oh my God. Top 5 worst characters ever created. Dario. Dario is terrible. Dario, if I'm not mistaken, his origin is from the order of... is from the realm of order. Or the realm of chaos. It's one of those two. He comes from the realm. It was from Deception where we got characters from those two realms, and they introduced those two realms into the story. And it was so interesting because we hadn't seen that before. But in reality, nah. They can keep Dario. Dario's gonna be MIA. It's not even gonna be fun. Darius. Darius is another one. Darius is a lot more interesting than Dario. He had a lot of the techie things, and if I'm not mistaken, he was part of the realm of order. But he had a lot of the techie, he was I won't call him a cyborg ninja, but he was imagine a technomancer would in the Mortal Kombat universe. He had this bunch of techs. He had this really cool 3-hit spinning kick. If I get the gameplay, I'll just post it up. But he had a really cool move set, and I actually enjoyed using him. But unless we do order and chaos, I'll put this. I should make another. In fact, I should make another one. I'll make another one. Let me go over here. Add a row below. I'll put maybe. Or actually, I'll put depends. Depends. Dario's Darius isn't a bad character whatsoever. I like this moveset. I liked using him when he was around, but I really don't think he either depends or he's gonna be MIA with Dario. Draman. I actually like Draman. I like Dramen a lot. I like Dramen more than I like meat. Pause. But I like Dramen. Dramen's cool. Dramen doesn't make a lot of sense, and he was one of those characters that if you went to the crypt in Mortal Kombat 11, you can find some of his memorabilia on a wall inside of Goro's lair, if I'm not mistaken, if I got all my my information correct. Dramen's cool. I would like to see Dramen as a DLC. I would. That's a me pick. Let's continue. But Dramen is cool. Dramen's design is pretty cool. Having all his like weird little bugs, throwing bugs and doing his little roller. Like he would do Kano's cannonball, but it would be on the floor if I'm not mistaken. Little things like that. His skill set is pretty cool. He had like a super upper, like a Shoryuken, but it wasn't really a Shoryuken. It was just like a almost like a Statue of Liberty uppercut. It was pretty cool. I like Dramen. Next up, Ermac, main roster. We don't gotta talk about it. They did my boy wrong as hell. Yo, they were so wrong for the way that they just killed him off in the crypt. Yo, somebody has to pay for that. Somebody, yo, Ed Boon, I'm coming for somebody on your staff going crazy over there, killing off main characters in the crypt. I'm going straight to their office and we're gonna get stuff handled because it's not fair. It's not fair. A bunch of people should have gotten killed off in the crypt. Not my boy Ermac. Let's continue. But Ermac, skill set as the non-sword wielding telekinetic. I appreciate his skill set. I appreciate how dope he was in MKX. In MKX, he might have been the funnest character to use, and I love him to death. He's been there for an ill amount of time. I loved him since his inception. Ermac for sure. Aaron Black. I'll have Aaron Black as a DLC character. Well, actually, as it depends. I kind of want to throw Devora as it depends as well, because if we go back in time, they're not going to make it. I don't have Devora. If we legit stay with the Liu Kang story, we're not going to make it. If we get to play both of them, then we might get to play them, which is why I want to throw Devora in depends. But in reality, nah. Aaron Black might be depends, but also because of his popularity, or he has like a little cult following, might be DLC. I'll put him as DLC. And now I need help with this character again, because I can't remember. Ferritor. Shout out to my little brother who's like off screens, like just looking at me like, yo, I just told you this. But Ferritor, oh my god. I thought their design was dope as a two-piece one character where the big one throws the little one kind of tells the big one what to do. I thought their design was awesome. I thought it was so different. I like them. I want to see them, but I don't want to see them as an NPC. I would like to see them as DLC. That would be cool. For me, at least. To have them as an extra character, DLC. Frost. Frost goes NPC. I'm tired of Frost. There's nothing cool about Frost, yo. Like, as an ice ninja, like, there's really nothing cool about her. Nothing whatsoever. Like, yes, she's the female version of Sub-Zero. And then she became a female cyborg version of Sub-Zero in MK11. Big whoop. Come up with another ninja, come up with another female character, whatever you want to do. Switch her up for Lee May, however you want to slice it. Whatever. Fujin. I was going to say Kungjin. Fujin. Fujin's one of my favorite characters of all time. Like I said, I have this real big love for gods and deities. Fujin makes it to the main roster as a god of wind, as one of my favorite characters to play in MK11, as somebody super cool. The way that he uses his sword, just his design in general. I love Fujin, as Raiden's brother as well. I love Fujin. Another character that I really enjoyed as a grappler in MK11, Garrus. Garrus to me would be main roster. He would be main roster, but I have to throw him on depends, because if we are no longer dealing with Chronica and the whole time thing and we're just gonna just let it go, we're let go the whole entire time thing, Garrus won't make an appearance. If anything, I could see him as DLC. Probably not. A lot of people a lot of people are saying Goro, Kintaro, Motaro as the pre-order bonus. I'm going with Goro. I want Goro as the pre-order bonus. Usually we get a big character, Goro, Shao Kahn, but I want to see Goro again. If anything we could do, you know what? I'll give it to you guys. We'll put Kintaro. Goro makes it as an NPC. Or as a dead NPC because they killed him off in the crypt. And then you find out that Noob came out of nowhere and was like, yo, shank, 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 hold that one right there, and let him die in his chair after he had fought like a bunch of fights. Fam, who's writing this stuff? Who? I need to find you, and we're gonna Mortal Kombat it out in real life. This is whack. So whack. All right. Let me get some water. I'm tired over here. This is some BS. Lord have mercy, these decisions. Holy crap, we're working on 20 minutes right now. This might be a long bad boy. I'm over here. I'm giving way too much information. But Havoc. And I'm putting them both in. Havoc and Hataro. Both of them. Main roster. Why? Because if we do Chaos and Order, I need them both to make an appearance. I need them both because they're both really freaking cool. Really cool. In Deception, Hataro was one of the more unique characters with his whole, I would like to say it was Naginata with a banner, and he would use the, and like you could, there's so many ways that you can implement the banner in actual fights, like have different buffs, so he'll slam down the banner, and then the character would have to like kind of work his way either to knock him into the banner and break it, or you can have the actual character pick up the banner and then hit Hataro with it. That would be something cool. So you kind of do that risk reward type of thing where the banner gets placed and it becomes like the secondary weapon. Now, obviously, that would have to have a huge cooldown because you can't just have unlimited amount of banners being placed. Banner, smack, banner, smack, banner, smack. Like, you can't do it. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. But between Hataro and Havoc having his whole contortionist, torso spinning, weird half skeleton mask design and being part of the Chaos Realm, bruh, I'm excited for either of those characters. I would love it for them to make the main roster. And I'll probably the biggest piece of character ever created in all of Mortal Kombat. Suhao will be MIA for like the 5th game in a row because nobody gives a crap about Suhao. He's just basically poor man's Kano. It's basically what he is. He got a laser on his chest. If I'm not mistaken, I think I read that if you beat the arcade mode in Deadly Alliance with him, if it wasn't Deadly Alliance or was it in Deception, doesn't matter. Either of those games, if you beat the story with him, he dies in his main story of him winning the tournament, which is nuts. But anyways, Suha makes it MIA. Next up, we have Jackie Briggs. Jackie, I kind of want to say she depends. She depends on, contingent upon how the story comes out, we might have her in. I like her character. I think that if we do Chaos Order Realm, she might make a good fit. They could also do like this, because like I really, in my mind, I have to give you guys this. In my mind, I do believe that they're gonna go like a multiverse type of thing where a bunch of the characters get split onto different universes. Something happened when Liu Kang did all of that, and that timeline got split into a bunch and they all just went. And that would be dope. Like, we have different characters representing different realms. Like, that would be something out of the ordinary and completely sick. It would also be balls to the wall. It would be absolutely nuts, right? So you have that, but at the same time, that would be quirky, crazy, and actually pretty cool if you wanted to implement it that way. But for me, hers depends on how the story goes. Jade is, as the staff wielding, glaive throwing, or however we're gonna call that little thing that she throws. She makes main roster. She's legit. I like Jade a lot. She's one of my favorite characters. She's dope. I like Jade. Jade will make it to the main roster. Oh my God, it's the second biggest piece of they've ever created. Jarek will be MIA. And if anything at all, we might have Jarek be an NPC. I'm rolling with Yo, that terrible sequence of him dying, and I think it's MK4. Lord have mercy. Yo, that's enough for him to be lost in time forever. Like, that is so bad. And if you don't believe me, just look up Jarek's ending with him and Sonya and Jax at the end. Like, it's one of the funniest videos you'll ever see from Mortal Kombat. Jax Jax, my Brolic brother, my super metal arms. He was great in the movie, even though people do not respect him whatsoever. Anytime they get the chance, they'll do like some crazy stuff. I loved him in MK11. Like just the whole that if the more he punches, the hotter it gets, and then it'll kind of force a broken bone or an impact hit. Jax is legit. OG roster, love him to death, love his skill set. From machine guns, from him going to in Deadly Alliance going, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yo, you could just spam that the whole entire time and just bullet. They'll like do the bullet, like they'll just wiggle. But in Deadly Alliance, it was so funny. He had this like over the top. Also in Armageddon, he had the same skin, but for sure, I like him, love him to death. Jax definitely makes main roster. Johnny Cage, main roster as well. OG, love it to death. His skill set, if I'm not mistaken, it's either Jeet Kune Do or Taekwondo. It's one of those. His skill set, his backflip kicks, the side power kick, the force ball that he throws, the green force ball. His OG fatalities are some of the most iconic that you'll ever see. Even the Here's Johnny one that we got in MKX was awesome. But yes, definitely Johnny Cage makes main roster. Cabal, one of my favorite characters of all time. They try to spice him up by making Movado. We weren't having it. Cabal has my favorite fatality in MK11. That throwing him and doing the flash thing that they got. This is how you know video games are made. They literally grabbed the Injustice flash coming from one side and punching him in the other. Literally just grabbed that, used the same more or less animations of him running real fast, but him basically dragging you and then him cutting you in half. That part was different, but as anybody knows, Cabal is legit as they come. Both of them hook swords, iconic. His whole mask thing, super cool. His character design is awesome. I love Cabal. He's legit for me. Now, here's a character that a lot of people might not like too much, but I like whenever I get to see him, especially from, if I'm not mistaken, it was MK4 that we had him. Kai is super cool. Kai, I would like to see in the main character if we go back in time. So I'm actually going to put Kai in Depends. If we go back in time and we're doing the whole Kung Lao era and Baraicho might be there and things like that, I would like to see Kai as the main character. He doesn't get enough love. He's definitely a unique character. His skill set is a little bit different from Kung Lao. He's another Shaolin warrior, another Shaolin monk. He has a different skill set from Kung Lao and Liu Kang, even though some of his attacks are fire-based, so they're a little bit different. But I would like to see him get a lot more shine in MK12, for sure. Next up, we have Kano. Where to put you? I want to put Kano in main roster. And I'm going to put Kano in main roster. I can't have Kano and Cabal. I can't have Kano here without Cabal and vice versa. Like, I have to have Kano. There has to be somebody to oppose directly the special forces. And if I'm going to have Jax there, if I'm going to have Cassie Cage there, if I'm going to have like those types of characters, those special forces characters, yeah, you need to. Now, let's pour one out to my dead brother who died in the crypt because y'all's out here going nuts. Kenshi is main roster. Kenshi should never be removed from any roster. Kenshi should not be DLC for anybody, absolutely at all. Kenshi is as good as they come. You're gonna leave the cool blind samurai who's racially ambiguous. I'm pretty sure Kenshi's black. Kenshi's my guy. And he got a beard? Bruh, come on, y'all bugging. Kenshi is since his inception in Deadly Alliance, Kenshi is my favorite character. Bar none. Kenshi has been my favorite character for a long time. I thought after, what was that, like 6 or 7 games, nobody would eclipse Raiden as my favorite character. I love my guy to death. Raiden is the most iconic for me, personally. I love him to death, but Kenshi is right there. It's like almost 1A, 1B. One day I like Raiden, one day I like Kenshi. That's it. Female Chameleon. You're going MIA too. For the same reasoning, I won't have Chameleon there. Pre-order, I'm going Kintaro. For sure. Kira's the Red Dragon, the female Red Dragon member. if we're going back in time, I'll put Kira as depends. If we're going back in time, I want to see Kira there and have a bigger emphasis on the whole Red Dragon thing with Kano, Cabal, or Black Dragon, whichever the dragons is that they do. But I want to see Kira there, so I'll put her in depends, only contingent upon if they find a way to kind of mix her in. But other than that, I don't think she'll make it. Kitana, we don't even got to talk too much about it. Main roster. How many main rosters I got right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. We got 14 rosters. Oh, the third biggest piece of they ever created. Why is Ken from Street Fighters here? Somebody explain to me who designed Cobra and thought that this was a good idea. He's not even, yo, there's already Ken and there's Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury. How in God's name does somebody get away with Cobra? Ed Boon, we have to have a conversation with the person who designed Cobra and greenlit Cobra to be a character. He does not belong here. MIA. And we might lose him along with Jarek. They can sit in the oblivion of lost characters. We don't need them here. Kotal Khan. Top 5 favorite characters for me. As this weapon using grappler, I like his kit a lot. Like abnormally, like, and his whole like Aztec garb and just his presence and Kotal Khan, like all of that. Like I F's with Kotal Khan heavy. Like I like him as a character. And then in Aftermath, homeboy comes, decapitates him, and called it a day. Which I love Shao Kahn too, but bruh, what are you doing? But I like Kotal Khan a lot. It was cool. It was cool to have him there. I think his character design is completely unique, and I just like him a lot as a character. Kung Jin I liked a lot as a character in MK11. I'ma throw him on depends as well. I like his whole archer. I don't think we have a lot of archers. We have a lot of spammy projectile base, which is like, I say that, but as soon as you get into any type of competitive, we just go from spamming projectiles to spamming the same combos over and over again. Like, that's legit all we do. Nobody ever wants to shoot the fair ones. All we're gonna do is just spam the hardest hitting combo every single time. That's all competitive players do. But anyways, Kung Jin is super cool. I liked his fatality. I liked one of his fatalities. They were super cool. But it's all depends on where the story goes. I'm gonna put him on depends right now. Kung Lao, either the descendant of Kung Lao, his ancestor, Kung Lao's wife, whoever, Kung Lao, a female version of Kung Lao the alien, Kung Lao the weird dude in the corner. Kung Lao makes the roster every single time. Kung Lao. Li Mei. That last design of Li Mei got me sweating. Oh man, Li Mei's character is dope. I like Li Mei as the. Here's the thing. I don't want Li Mei if that means we sacrifice Melina like we did last time. So I'm gonna put Li Mei as a DLC. I don't mind Li Mei. There's that weird kind of thing going on right now where they're trying to say that Li Mei became the wife of Onaga. Like there was that like little weird tidbit of information. So they're saying that, ooh, she might participate if Onaga comes back, which is that's a lot of people's speculation that Onaga will be the big bad guy in MK12, which I'm completely down for. And we'll see when we get to Onaga. But yes, Li Mei makes it as DLC. Liu Kang, he's Thunder God Liu Kang now, or Fire God Liu Kang, which is funny because he's Fire God, Thunder God Liu Kang, or Fire Thunder God Liu Kang. He's the poster boy. He's one of the best action movie castings ever by getting I can't remember his name now. Now I'm drawing a blank on his name. But between him and Shang Tsung, that's perfect casting. Both of them. Oh, and also OG Raiden. Not the Raiden that became in Annihilation. Not that Raiden. OG Raiden is awesome. OG Raiden from the first movie, completely awesome. Oh, Raiden in the second movie, not bad, but you're just not as cool as that guy. Now, Movado. Movado's another piece of shit. That's it. That's legit all I have to say. Movado was to be the replacement for Cabal. He was supposed to run opposite the Red Dragon Clan with the Black Dragon Clan. Fam, nobody cares about Cabal. Meat is... Jesus Christ. Pause and pause again. But Meat, pause, is... He's a joke character. People like him, but to me, he's a joke character. If anything, I wouldn't mind seeing him as NPC, but DLC's a little rough. I might have to restructure everything, like put some characters in NPCs just so we could like talk to them a little bit. But I'll put Meat as an NPC. I really don't want to see him as a DLC. I don't, and I don't think that Meat and Draman couldn't coexist. I think you either get one or, and I prefer Draman over Meat. That's just my personal opinion. Melina, main character. I love Melina. I love her design. I love how she runs opposite of Katana. I love the whole that became she's actually a clone of Katana, but with Tarkatan blood and Shao Kahn's favorite daughter, but she's Katana's stepsister. All of that. That all sounds cool and fine and dandy. I just think she's awesome. Mocap, another joke character. People were there. I was watching a podcast. I think it's called the Nethercast, and they were talking about premiere skins for certain characters. Kind of like how we get Liu Kang's Goku skin in Mortal Kombat 11, and we get Raiden's Dracula skin, and Garrus got a Frankenstein skin. Like, those are really cool premiere skins, like for pop culture references, right? But for me, I think premiere skins having other characters, like we could have a Meat drama skin, right? Like a drama skin for Meat. I'm sorry, a Meat skin for Draman. Johnny Cage would get a mocap skin. This is one of the ones. So shout out to the Nethercast. I had a lot of fun watching their video. They had mocap be a premiere skin for Johnny Cage, which I think is pretty cool and works with the whole actor kind of persona that Johnny Cage has, at least early on in his life. Moloch is so whack. Moloch, I wouldn't mind having him be an NPC. But to me, as the bad guy or the penultimate bad guy for Deadly Alliance, I'm not the biggest fan of Moloch. Motaro, I would like for them to find a way to make him work. He's so massive that, pause, that sounds crazy, but he's just, I'll say something else. He's a big unit. Pause again. Well, I could do this all day, but Motaro is crazy. He's a big dude, bro. Like, he's just a big dude. He's a horse. That sounds crazy in itself too, with all the things. That one wasn't even intentional. But point is, I want to see them make it work. Make it work. His kit was pretty cool in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, if I'm not mistaken, where he would kind of like use his tail as a projectile and like use it to shoot projectiles and things of that nature. He had different stances. I thought like he was a pretty cool character, and he's pretty iconic. He was in the movie. Like, we've seen him in several video games as one of those bigger characters. I would also like them to have actually 2 pre-order bonus characters, but in reality, if we're being honest, like if they do the whole split thing, that'd be cool. That they would give us 2, but if they don't split the storylines and allow us to play both of them, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they'll give us both Kintaro and Motaro, but that's just me. Next up we have, and this is where it gets super easy for me, Nightwolf, main character. Nightwolf is a top 5, top 10-ish, I would have to sit down and think, character for me. Nitara, I would like to see come back. Main roster as well. Her whole NetherRealm vampire theme is a little different. It might help us explore another facet of the realm as well. I apologize. I don't believe she's NetherRealm. I think she's Outworld. I apologize. But it's either or. But sometimes I don't know. The designs be so similar sometimes. But I have Nitara being main roster for me, at least personally for me. There's something in my brain is telling me that we can't have Noob and Smoke at the same time. That we can't. So for me, if it's either or, we had Noob in the last game, and I love Noob. He's one of my favorite characters to play in MK11. But you know what? It's my list. I'm putting them both on. Same thing. Noob makes it. I love his at the Dark Ninja. He's a little bit different. He's kind of like, he's darkness, but he's in reality kind of like sludge or shadow, which in reality, smoke should be light, but he's smoke. Like if you're going to go with the whole, they're kind of like twins type of thing. But Noob is cool to me. Super cool. He's one of my favorite ninjas of all time. Onaga. Onaga would be the big bad for me in my story. Whoops. Onaga makes it. Onaga's legit. Onaga would be, he would make the comeback. He would be the main antagonist for me personally in the game. Quan Chi also makes it. Quan Chi is my favorite sorcerer. If you were to ask me, Shang Tsung gets it because of his icon, like how iconic he is, right? But I love Quan Chi just as much. The whole dual sword, broadsword style. He had a weird fatality in what is it called? In Deadly Alliance, where he would just stretch your neck and leave you like that. Like, fam, out of all things, chop it off. Like, we could put him out of his misery. Like, that is nuts. But anyways, Quan Chi makes the list as well. Raiden makes the list. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier, 1A, 1B favorite characters of all time. If anything, Quan Chi is one of my favorite villains of all time. Rain is dicey. To me, Rain is a little dicey. Because even though I like Rain a lot, I think like he's just good enough to be a DLC. I don't think he's good enough to be like a main ninja. Like, I just think he's really cool as a DLC. And I think some of his ultimates and some of his powers are so cool. The whole water cannon thing and everything. Like, I think a lot of them are really cool. But I don't know. And I liked using him in MK11, but I just don't know. I'll put him in DLC again. He makes it again as a DLC character because he's just that good. Reiko makes it to the main roster. First time in a long time since Armageddon. Reiko as the general, the Outworld general to Shao Kahn. If we're not going to have Shao Kahn, Reiko would be a great substitution. He also has a little bit in common with Noob. If you look at some of his skills, they've kind of transferred from Reiko and Armageddon to Noob in MK11. Or if I'm not mistaken, at least they had copycat moves in both Armageddon. I would have to go back and play him. But Reiko's super cool. He would also carry a hammer just like Shao Kahn. So he kind of be that mix of light on your feet, but a little bit of Shao Kahn in him. Like, that'd be dope. Reptile makes it as well. Reptile is as legit as a ninja comes. Super dope. I might have to take off people from the main roster because it looks like I'm going to be a little bit overstacked. Serena. I'll put Serena as an NPC. She doesn't do anything for me. Not too crazy about Serena. Scorpion obviously makes the list. Sector obviously makes the list. Shang Tsung makes the list as well. Shao Kahn does not. Have Shao Kahn be an NPC. I don't want to see Shiva there either. Have her be an NPC as well. I'm already getting Kentaro. You can, but I don't think so. Shinnok. This is actually pretty cool. Depends on the story. Because if they went back in time, Shinnok is still alive. So it depends on the story for me, Shinnok. Shujinko. I thought Shujinko was cool for what they did with him in Mortal Kombat. Holy crap, I'm on 43 minutes. This is a long video. I thought Shujinko was pretty cool for what they did with him in Deception, having you go through the whole entire story mode, having him age and learn all the super cool moves. But if we're gonna be honest about it, he's really just a copycat character with a bunch of moves from a bunch of other people. We don't really need him. So as for that message, I'm going with missing in action. I don't think we need him to appear again. That's just me. Sindel makes the main roster. Scarlet. I like Scarlet. She's decent. I'm not crazy about her, but I think that her whole blood ninja different is actually pretty cool. I like her a lot. We're gonna go, she makes main roster. If anything, I might take out Sector. I might have to take out Sector, but after that, we'll clean it up. This is gonna be a whole hour video long, guys. Shout out to you guys. If you guys made it to this point, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, do all of the YouTube jazz, do all of that, please. Support the channel in any way, shape, or form. Ooh, Smoke. I want to see Smoke, and I want to see that variant of Smoke. I like Smoke with the white hair. Smoke is cool. Sonya. Sonya makes the list as well. If Cassie makes the list, Sonya has to make the list as well. We got to see her back. In fact, I'm going to have to remove Cassie. Cassie makes it to Depends. Depends on how we do the story. This would be awesome if they made it so, like, instead of having just 30 characters, we made like 40. Like, that would be amazing. But, nah, that might not happen. Stryker, police brutality. He'll make it. He'll make it. At least in my, you know what? I don't think he'll make it. I think they're gonna they're gonna steer clear from all of that. I think he won't make it. But I want him to, because Stryker is an OG. Stryker is OG. He's from, I want to say MK3 was his debut. And Stryker's, I want him to make it. They'll probably steer clear away from the police brutality stuff, but that whole line and everything, especially with some of the characters with different ethnicities. But hey, we can only hope. Sub-Zero makes it. That's not even a debate. That's not even a question. Takeda. I want Takeda to be part of the roster. So I'm going to put him as DLC. That would be awesome. Tanya. Some people call her the female Scorpion. I call her hot trash. Now I'm playing. Tanya's pretty cool. I like Tanya. Not as much as a lot of people, but I like Tanya. I'll put Tanya. Tanya makes it. I want some other female characters. Bring some other female characters. Taven does not make the list. Him and Dagon both get left in the oblivion or the void of missing characters. Tremor, on the other hand, is a top 10 favorite of mine. I love Tremor. Tremor's so cool. And then Triborg, and we'll finish this off right here. Triborg makes it MIA. If I'm going to have this many cyborgs, I don't need to have Triborg there as well. So now let's clean it. Right there. That is the list. And it only took me 50 minutes. That is 27. That's a 27-man roster. The reason why I have it at 24 to 27, that is 27. If we dropped it down another 3. If I really wanted to drop it down another 3, I would grab Shang Tsung. Like, I'll give you guys a scenario. I'll grab Shang Tsung, would get taken out, and have Quan Chi be the main bad guy. Be the main, or be one of the mains. But then, like, here's the thing. Oh no, we could kind of do that, but technically Quan Chi's Netherrealm, not really the Outworld. Outworld is Shao Kahn's domain. But like, I can't have Reiko. Like, they could actually like mix it up a little bit, and instead of having Reiko be the general to Shao Kahn, have him be the general to Onaga. And that's how they fixed that, because it wouldn't make sense to have the general of Outworld's army as in Reiko and not have Shao Kahn be the Khan, right? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. At least in that way. Netara would be there simply to have basically a character that we hadn't had in a while. And Cabal, Kano, Kenshi. See, like right there, that's not too bad. I dropped it down to 26. Anybody else? Nightwolf might not make the cut, and I love Nightwolf. I love Nightwolf to death. And Nightwolf to me would be an excellent DLC character. But again, it's just the way that they've told the stories that they don't make too much sense. So if I needed to drop it down another one, I'm going with Nightwolf missing the cut. And now I got it at 25. And that's where I'm going to leave it. So directly from the editing booth or directly from the same chair, just a whole day later. So what up, guys? I hope you guys had an excellent day yesterday. This is the modified, corrected version of the tier list, purely curated and created by ya boy. This is the official way, with one pure exception. So let's get this out of the way. Number one, yesterday I did it. I spoke a lot. The videos are already about almost an hour long. I spoke a lot, and I didn't even have the proper format and template to do so. Why? Because it was missing characters. That's how I know why. So not only one, did I have to go out there and get all the pictures myself, I also two had to get the characters that were missing. So in total, there's been 77 combatants ever to appear playable in a Mortal Kombat game. Now I have officially all 77, and I'm going to tell you guys what modifications I did to the final list. Number one, let's get this one out of the way because this was just dumb. I don't know why I put her there, but in reality, Kira can be an NPC. As the female Red Dragon member of the Kano Squad, she doesn't need to be there. She could be an NPC and easily be MIA. But that was one of the ones that, for some reason, I had her somewhere in the other list. On the official list at the end, I had her in Depends. I don't know why I had her in Depends, but let's make that correction real quick. Number two, a character that I did not talk about because I didn't have the actual picture for her was Cetrion. Cetrion is awesome to me. I love deities. I mentioned this yesterday. I have a sweet spot for deities. I think her kid is really cool and she's completely different. I really like Cetrion. But it all depends on what kind of canon storyline we get there. I would love for us to go to the back and we get more information on who she is, what she stands for, etc., etc. But like I said, she might not make it because of the canon storyline, of which canon storyline. I also changed the pre-orders up a bit. I did, if I'm not mistaken, I removed somebody. I removed Rain from pre-orders and I put him in Miss the Cut because Rain already as a second pre-order bonus character to not pre-order bonus, I apologize, as a second as another recurring DLC character, I don't think that makes a lot of sense. So he slightly misses the cut for me. Now I can see, and if anybody misses the cut, I can see characters that are not part of the main roster being DLC. Like I have that there. So for example, Noob won't make, to me, Noob will miss the cut, but he's super popular, so he could just make it as DLC, and people would be super excited to see him. A Sector, that would be dope as well. Shang Tsung, another super popular character, get him back there. And even Striker can be back as DLC. That's another clarification or modification that I made to the final list. Another character, another two characters that I have that to me are completely useless in MIA, and I had them missing from the official list that I made earlier, was Triborg down here in MIA and the Collector. Triborg, if I'm already having Cyrax, I have Sector maybe as DLC, Smoke is gonna be there. I don't need another Ninja, Cyborg kind of character mixed around there. I really don't need that. So Triborg won't make it. And if anything, if they remove all of them and just leave Triborg, what is that? There's nothing interesting about Triborg. What makes Cyrax completely interesting is his backstory and his like ties to the Lin Kuei. Like those are the things that we love about Cyrax, right? But another one was Collector. Collector to me, very cool design, very cool skill set, completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. The reason why I think he's unnecessary is because we already got 4-armed characters. So having him be a more nimble Shokin, even though he's not a Shokin, but you guys get the idea, 4 arms, you guys get it, is not really so enticing, and he's literally just there, just like Devora, as really just cannon fodder for us to fight during the story mode. We could get other characters to be that same kind of cannon fodder, in my personal opinion. So that was another one. And then I moved, the last character I believe I moved from the position was Scarlet. Scarlet, I moved to the DLC. Her whole blood kit is so unique that I think she is prime for DLC. I think that would be completely awesome. Other than that, you guys get this is the list. This is the list. We have characters for the main roster. We have a total of, if I'm not mistaken, I reached 25. We can count them right now, right in front of you, just so you guys know. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 25 characters. We have a bunch of characters that missed the cut, around 7 of them. We got the pre-order bonus as in Kintaro. We got characters contingent upon how the storyline works. We might see them and we might not, which means that certain characters up top won't make the cut. DLC would be awesome if just enough, like give me, if we're gonna do a different timeline and they're not gonna be alive, I still want to be able to play as Eren Black. I still want to be able to play as Takeda. I still want to be able to play as, because that would be sad. Like if you guys made cool kids and not have them like reprise their roles or have any like big thing and they just kind of fall to the DLC, the DLC portion of things, that'd be kind of sad. Ferritor, Kung Jin, like things like that. Like those are really cool characters. Tremor is my guy. I love Tremor, but sadly, it is what it is. I would have liked to at least see him in DLC, and I would like to see them fix Mataro as well. Then the NPCs, the Primordial, or the super powerful God of Fire, known as Blaze, Barai, Cho, Frost, Goro, Meat, etc., etc. And remember, I did mention in that video, in the earlier portion of this video, the fact that I think Premier skins would be really dope for certain characters, kind of like Jackie Briggs getting the Spawn skin, Raiden getting the Dracula skin, Goku skin for Liu Kang, etc., etc. Those really cool skins, I think that they would be dope. Johnny Cage getting a mocap skin would be awesome. Reptile getting a chameleon skin would be awesome as well, in my personal opinion. You could even do Triborg for Cyrax, that would be sweet as well, and so on and so forth. There's a couple of them. Like, you could even kind of like make fun of mocap and Shu Hao by giving them to Kano, if you really want to, and Cabal. Like, that would be something funny, like have him wear the dunce hat and then have Shu Hao have his little laser in the chest and all of that. And then finally, that is it. That is it. That is the tier list. I want to know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys made it this far, I know the video is pretty darn long, but thank you guys for sticking out. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, and make sure to support the channel in any way, shape, or form. You guys can check all of the links down in the description below. Everything from the Amazon link, the Epic Creator Code, the Humble Bundle link, all of those links. If you buy anything with them, I do get a kickback, and it costs you absolutely nada, zero, zilch, nada. Please just do it. And then finally, also, all of the links for my socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, links are down in the description below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting me there. $1 a day keeps the landlord away, not only in the Patreon, but also in the membership, YouTube membership as well. It's only $1 a day, keeps the landlord away. I'm your host, Mike Fury. It's been a complete pleasure. Until next time, Mike, off.